Hello and welcome back to Operation Crypto. Today we're going to take a look at Swipe, which is SXP. When should you invest? So let's get cracking, and we will start on CoinMarketCap, and we'll look over all the key statistics of other projects and what's happened in the past with regards to all-time highs. So Swipe, which is SXP, is currently ranked number 80 out of all cryptocurrencies that are logged on CoinMarketCap. We have today's coin price of $1.54, and we are 2.25% down on today's trading. We have a total supply of just short of 300 million coins, with a circulating supply of 65,982,752 SXP. We have a market cap of just over $101 million, which is equivalent to 9,273 Bitcoin. Moving down to the chart, we can see we've had quite a bit of action over the last year or two, really, and taking that into consideration where we are listed. So Binance is getting what you could say 50% of the volume there. We against BTC and Tether. We are getting some volume on Bitfum, BKX, Bitfum Global, Qcoin. So it is on a lot of good exchanges. I believe Binance is fairly recent, so we won't be using that chart as we do not have too much data, but I do believe the Qcoin data has a lot of chart. But as you can see there, we are listed on. We have quite a few pairs that we have logged down, so we have 39 pairs there. Some aren't getting some volume, but as you can see, what matters is that the bigger exchanges, the more trusted ones, are getting predominantly most of the volume. What I'm interested in is finding out the all-time high, which was very recently, a few days ago. We are on the 30th of July today, and the all-time high was on the 25th of July, 2020 this year, and that went up to $2.26. So you can see we are quite a substantial way down from there at the moment. But to have a look into that, we need to jump over to TradingView, and we'll have a look at some technical analysis and see what can potentially happen in the coming months and years, potentially. Right, so moving over to TradingView, here we have SXP against Tether. I do prefer to do my charts in Tethers, that's what I trade with, but I will show you a price in Bitcoin, what I think we could potentially enter in the future. So we are starting on a weekly chart. I would usually start on a monthly, but there's just not quite enough data out there to trade with, so I'm going to start on the weekly, which is, we do have enough data here to identify a few key levels. So what I want to start off by doing is marking a couple of levels on as support and resistance, so you can see we had a level there which was the weekly, and we will mark it down as a weekly level. Really, I just want to use these as points of trading and points of potentially buying and sell. And if we just move that down a little bit, I'll also mark another level down here. As you can see, we bottomed out there, and we did bounce back up off them two levels, and then we'll have a level kind of midway. As you can see, that looks like a bit of a weak level there. We did bounce up and we're rejected from that level, right down into them prices. So that will do for me. We'll just drop into the daily, and here we can just have a look at some other potential key levels. So we will mark them up, so you can see we will have a level up there which was the all-time high, and we'll change that to the daily. You don't want to get carried away with these because you could put levels all over the place, but we will have a level there midway, and then potentially one more around here because we did bounce back up there. So as you can see, we've got a little bit of market structure there. Next, what I want to do is bring on the Fibonacci, and I want to see what type of levels we can potentially buy in it. So I want to find the 13th of March. Where are we? Down here. So yeah, that is when Bitcoin did that crazy 57% dump, and that was due to COVID-19. But ever since then, we have been on quite a bit of a rally, and we've made some good ground and good traction. So I want to take that bottom body there of that lowest point and take it up to the highest point where we've been recently, and that's when we hit the all-time highs. Like I said, it's 25th of July, 5 days ago. We did fly up there, and we've obviously come back down and hit that level there. But what I want to do is just work it out as a price range, how much we did move. So it's price range. So from them bottom levels there all the way up to the top. Wow, what a move. So if you was holding Swipe before that dump, or just thereabouts after, then you would have been in for a potential 1,313% price raise. That's if you bought at the bottom and you sold at the top. If you managed to sell, buy around these levels and then sell them away up, then you still would have made a really healthy profit. But what we need to potentially do is now identify some key areas to buy back in, or to sell, or even if it's your first time, somewhere to invest. And in my opinion, let's just drag this a little bit further across. I do think that in the coming months, I do think, this is nothing against Swipe, this is nothing against the project. We need to remember that Bitcoin runs the market, and whenever that makes significant moves like it did here, then everything else does seem to follow. And we're still tied to it, unfortunately. And I do think that at some point over the next possibly 6 months within that, or up to a year, I do think things are going to start getting quite messy. And I do think Bitcoin's going to dump. We just need to be wary of what happens and when it happens. So in regards to that, in my opinion, I think you should look at targeting some of these levels down here. We've already been down there a few months ago, and there's no reason that we cannot revisit these levels again. So I do think that we can get some potential buys in and around this area. So if you set some buy orders up, mark it up as my buy zone, put it in caps lock. There is no harm in having some orders down here, even if you are the biggest fan of a project and you think I'm fudding it because it's going to go down here. All I'm saying is that I do think Bitcoin will come down and everything else will follow it. But the project itself can be working and doing everything that should, but sometimes it just doesn't matter because, like I said, Bitcoin drags everything down with it. So get some orders in down here, in my opinion, if you want to invest, or an investor already. Then if you don't want to sell, then hold them as an investment for future. But if you want to get some cheaper coins, cheaper tokens, or whatever they are, then put some orders in down here. You will, I mean, we've already retraced. What was that as a retracement? Now if we work it out as a price, if we take that level there and we take it down there, it already did 48% retracement. That's massive. And it can do it again, and I do think we're going to hit these levels, at least for 0.786 level on the Fibonacci. I do think that's possible that we can hit down there. And let's just take a look at that in a BTC price. So just again, we'll draw a Fibonacci on, and we'll go back to March when we had that. Yeah, right. We'll take that bottom body there, and we'll take it up to the top point there that we had a few days ago. So in a BTC price, in my opinion, I think we should target these levels down here. So you're talking, what's that, 5,400 sats, all the way up to, maybe drop it down a bit because we have dropped down a bit further on BTC pair as BTC has dumped. So anywhere between 5,000 and 8,000 sats, I do believe will be a great entry point to buy if you are trading in BTC. But yeah, let's switch back to USD chart. I prefer this, and I think we do get a little bit more data on the Swipe and Tether chart. So yeah, that will do it for today's video, I believe. I'm not going to go into price predictions because, I mean, who knows? It's not been up to those levels before. We are at current all-time highs, and it's pretty much impossible to work out where it could go. I mean, you can look at other coins and say they have this amount of coins and this is how much they've gone, but sometimes it just don't work like that. So what you need to do is just look at getting in at these levels and then holding out, and as it moves forwards, just remember to keep taking profits on the way up. As long as it does keep moving up, then I think you're going to be in for a great investment opportunity in the future. So yeah, that will wrap it up for today's video. That's just a brief insight to some technical analysis of when to potentially buy some Swipe. That's on BTC and US dollar Tether chart. So thanks very much for listening. Please make sure you do like the video, subscribe to my channel, and I'll catch you next time.